Welcome to the Man Cave Podcast with Dan Casper.
Hey, what a weekend, though. If we, obviously Packers and such, but you factor in the Badgers putting up 42 against Rutgers, 42-7. But let's start off a little locally here because Blue Golds with a big homecoming victory for football and Stout taking down Whitewater, too. So, you talk about our two local WIAC football teams. That was a heck of a Saturday for those two teams.
Yeah, definitely. I think for the Blue Golds, too, to come off that very tough loss to River Falls in week one of the conference schedule and to come back on your homecoming game and just dominate. Get the first shutout, I think, since 2008.
I was wondering if it's been a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Predating my time here in Eau Claire, so it's been a while. And, yeah, that's what you want.
I was still in college for them, so I should have known that.
Yeah, exactly. That's a huge, huge victory for them to, and the way the WIAC is playing out this year, everybody's beating up everybody so far.
Yeah.
So, and Stout, though, they're 2-0 now in conference, top of the leaderboard right now. Big win over Whitewater. I don't remember how long. It's about 21 years or something. It was
2002, I think it said. Yeah.
So another big streak there that was ended by the. I've been to some of those and they've always battled Whitewater tough and just couldn't get over the hump. But Clate's team getting the job done there. So a big win for them. Yeah. So it's a very big week for WIAC football, and then you round it up coming this week, and then you've got UW Lacrosse here again. So Claire 11:30, and then River Falls and Stout battling as well. So all the regional guys battling up this upcoming weekend, so it should be fun.
Yeah, it was, a fantastic weekend over there. And I know, on the prep side too, we're entering the final regular season week. You believe that?
No, because every Friday when I go out there, it's 70 degrees.
Yeah.
I was talking Gravold from the Blue Golds was out scouting, and I'm like, I feel like we should have 8 more weeks of regular season. This is just does not feel like it's middle of October. And looking at it again, Friday should be about the same. Yeah. I'll keep knocking on wood. I'll take this. If it goes through the playoffs and we're like this, I doubt it will. I'm just hoping we don't just have the cliff come and we drop and it's 25 degrees for level 1 of the playoffs or something like that.
I remember some of those practices, just seeing the kids they had to shovel off fields and all that. So.
We've had ice storms. We've had it all. I remember my first year here, I had to go up to Turtle Lake for a playoff game, and it was kind of like yesterday, but it was raining, and it was 36, 37 degrees, and the wind was gusting up to 40, 45 miles per hour. Let's not have that. I'm going to keep thinking our weather guys about what we have because it's been nice.
Yeah, exactly. So, I know last Friday, some of our scores, we had both North and Memorial falling in their games. North fell to Marshfield, Memorial fell to Wausau West. But other big rivers, you had River Falls defeating Menominee, 29-19.
That River Falls team was a good team that just couldn't get over the hump against some of those other good teams in the conference. But it's a surprise to see them beat because Menominee's a great team. But that River Falls team is talented, has a great quarterback. And, so, it's an upset, but I think that's one where you look at it and, that River Falls team's better than what their record had shown. And then, so now you get the Menominee Chi High matchup, and basically to be playoff eligible.
Because they're both 3-3 in conference play, right? So,
and it's always weird because it's yes, I don't know how many times I've seen a team lose that playoff eligible game kind of thing and then still get in because there's so many. The pool, the way it goes is if there's still spots, they can get in. But the best way to guarantee you're in is to win.
Yeah.
So that rivalry, one of the oldest ones you have, and just. It's the Mike. It's no longer the Reiko Lamuda show, but Mike Sins. The history he has playing and coaching in football against Reiko. It's still always a spicy matchup.
Oh yeah. I got to imagine that's probably where Brandon's going to be on Friday, but who knows? We'll find out later on.
The
this
travels
week.
with Brandon.
Yep, exactly. So that's going to be a fantastic finish to the rest of the season. You had. Mondovi picking up a win against Durand, Arkansas over there too. I know Eau Claire Regis, they picked up a win because of a forfeit due to injuries.
Right.
But they got a team, they're playing against Illinois coming up here too to kind of wrap up their regular season.
Right, I kind of like, that, and they'll play that one a little matinee at Carson Park, a 5 o'clock game. So, that, Clover Belt champions. that big win over Stanley Boyd can't be overstated too much how big that win was. And that's a team, always tough in the playoffs. And playing in Illinois to kind of an unfamiliar opponent, kind of maybe a good idea right before the playoffs to just kind of prep yourself, because that's the mindset you're going to have, because you might be playing somebody you haven't seen in a long, long time. So, yeah. Kudos, Brian Brennan. I mean, they, to schedule somebody that last week before the playoffs, I think that's great.
How about a triple overtime, too? Altoona over Somerset's 44-38.
Get that middle border win. I mean, that bus ride home.
That had to be pretty exciting. Those are what, the stuff I miss from back is stuff
and
like that.
And if you've ever met Chad Hansen, that guy has no energy at all. So he wasn't having any fun, I'm sure, on that ride home. So, congratulations to the Rails getting that win.
Yeah. 8-man football, McDonald Central continue. I mean, a 55-0 win over Thorpe. Over the weekend, too. Gilman, 75 points over Lake Holcomb. So,
and they got Owen Withey this week. Gilman, Owen Withey, at Owen Withey, I believe. So that should be a good... Hey, those playoffs are going to be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, once they get into the playoffs, those teams have been kind of beating up on each other. But, I think once you get into the playoff season, there's going to be some teams from this area that are definitely going to have a chance to make a run at state like Thorpe did last year.
So, and in Fall Creek, really quick, because I know we just talked about Regis playing teams outside state. Fall Creek played a Minnesota team, and they won 50-0.
The unofficial Clover Belt team Spectrum.
Yeah.
Which I believe is probably like a school for villains. He comes from Spectrum. It sounds like something you would have from James Bond.
Right. So, final week coming up here Saturday, we'll know pairings and seedings, or I should say seedings for the tournaments.
Saturday morning they'll reveal everything. I think Friday night they show the whole playoff field, and then they reveal the brackets on Saturday morning. So,
and it's all computer stuff now, right? So, all the analytic data.
Right,
factored
matchups and all that stuff. Fall Creek at 5-4 right now, or 5-4, I think, because that Osseo win. Well, it does calculate in there. So, you got teams that are right there on the bubble. So this next week is going to be huge for a lot of these teams if they get in the playoffs, and then for seeding wise as well.
Yep, exactly. So, lots of. We had looking at that Big Rivers conference, just to kind of wrap it up here too. You had New Richmond is up there. I know they just had a victory. They shut out.
They should be a 1 seed if they don't.
You've talked about New Richmond quite a bit for the last couple of weeks. So
Rice Lake will be right up there as well for a top seed.
Right.
Hudson's now 4-2 overall.
Yep.
So this conference-wise are 4-2.
So that Big River is going to be interesting when it comes to seeding time.
Yeah,
for those selections. I know we talked about the Menominee and Chippewa Falls one, but
that's why I think like River Falls, if they get the win and they finish 3-4, they're going to have quality wins on that resume that will really give them a shot of making it in if there are any spots left. So
exactly. I know we got some other prep sports going on here too, but speaking of Menominee, what is their cross country team undefeated? Did I see that the other day?
They've been very
just dominating on the courses out there too. So
we're getting close. It's conference season. They got their conference meet on Saturday in New Richmond. So, and then that means next week after that we will start having sectionals.
Yep.
And then state's a couple weeks away from there too. And speaking of state,
you going to golf
tomorrow? I'll be there at U Ridge.
Nice.
And
Brandon and I were kind of joking about that on Friday, being like, "Yeah, we know Justus is probably going if there's a golf state one."
Hey, I like to get my 8-mile walk in there and chasing people. But and it looks like it'll be a little bit nicer tomorrow. It's still gonna be cool, but I was got Belle Kongshaw going for a repeat in Division 2. Very good chance for her. I like her odds in that. And then like Sarah Chafee from Chippewa Falls, who was an individual qualifier in Division 1, and Carolyn Skinner as well from Regis Altoona. She'd been in Division 2 the last couple of years, now in Division 1. Individual qualifier, so they'll all be there. I know Hayward made it as a team. Spooner made it as a team as well. I'm just trying to remember these teams, but so it's going to be the conditions. You can deal with 51 degrees,
right? And
it looks like if it's not, it doesn't look like it's going to be too blustery down in Madison, and they'll take that because they've been there with sleet, base snow. They've had all kinds of running the gamut of weather, so. Belle said she loves fall golf. I love fall golf. I think if you're out there and the conditions are right, fall golf is probably some of the best golf you can play. So I think that'll be a fun one to watch and see if she can do it. And it'll be fun to go down there and walk the course and be out there too.
All right. I know this was last week too, but I know because we're starting to wrap up soccer too, but what a win for Memorial Soccer over Hudson last week.
And a definitive win for them as well. I mean, last time they played each other, it was a scoreless draw. And then to come back and get a big win like that, Shrekoff with 3 or 4 goals, 3 goals I think it was for him in that win. Yeah, that team is hitting its stride, and David Kite's got them playing at a high level, and that team's always playing at a high level. But this,
he was pumped up on Twitter. I saw it too.
Yeah.
After that win. So
that's huge, and as they get closer and closer here to the playoffs for them, they'll be making a run, and more than likely probably running into Hudson for a third time.
Yep.
And that's
a tradition. So you might, what else do you expect? At
I
that
mean,
point?
for as far as soccer rivalries go in high school around here, Hudson and Memorial every year, be it on the boys' side or on the girls' side, is always just a great rivalry matchup, and we've seen it again this year.
Right. Yep. No doubt. Volleyball's getting close to stuff conference and playoff action too.
Big win for Regis over McDonald in 5 sets, so they both claim a share of the Clover Bell West title.
Okay.
Regis gets to go play in the crossover. I don't know what the exact tiebreakers were, maybe head-to-head for that. But, yeah, so they'll play Marshfield Columbus on Thursday, I believe, in the championship for the Clover Belt crossover, and then all the other games like 2 through 7th or 8th place, that one's Tuesday night. And McDonald will have Colby in that one, but both those teams, I mean, they're both great teams, and I think are going to make deep runs into the playoffs. But for Regis, I think that, McDonald's been up there for so long. For Regis to come and get a chance and get a share there was huge, especially in their home gym.
Right, yeah. Oh, man, a lot of stuff going on here, too, so big thanks, as always, for breaking it down.
Oh, no problem.
Local sports roundup.